David, thanks for being with us here at Cannes today.
Yeah, thanks. Great to be here.
EA is doing something pretty remarkable right now, which is conducting a shift for players from just being kind of static game players to being at the center of a multi-dimensional experience. What's the concept behind that shift?
Yeah, I think if you take a step back, what we do is pretty special. We make games, and the better part of half the world's population plays games. It's a very diverse audience. Of that group, about half are women. And men and women, boys and girls, are playing across all different kinds of platforms, genres, modalities. There's no one motivation other than the constant theme is interactivity, participation. And so that's the thing for us, is about participatory media, participating in your experience. That's really what matters today.
Let's double down on participation for a little bit. I'd love to hear you unpack, what are the ways people participate in your environment?
Yeah, I think it's interactivity and participation with social and creation at the core.
Okay.
That's ultimately the thing. And so what I mean is, people come in today to play, but they're also coming in to create. They're coming in to watch. They're creating it to connect. They want to belong to a community. They want to be a part of something. They want to be able to compete. There's all these motivations, but it's more than play today.
As a live service, you often have the opportunity to kind of insert yourself into culturally relevant moments. What are some ways you do that, and maybe an example of where it's gone more from culture even into lifestyle?
Yeah, I mean, it happens all the time, and we're in the live service business. We're in a sports business, for example, where sports are being played around 365 days a year. There's things changing in the live environment. We change the game in the live environment, whether that's the big games that are happening on the weekend, or injuries, or anything that changes with the person's stats. So our sports games are changing all the time.
Yeah.
When you look beyond our sports gamings, our sports games, let's take The Sims, for example. Increasingly finding partnerships that we do with brands, like, for example, Coach being a part of The Sims. When you're creating content with Coach that is free content for consumers to get to play, for our players to get to engage with, to get to build their characters with, it's great value for the brand, it's great value for players, it makes an awesome experience all the way around.
Let me ask you kind of a macro question. What do you think makes for a great brand experience today?
Yeah, it feels like the thing that everybody's talking about here, right?
Yeah.
It's the thing that people are asking about. I think there's a few principles that are very consistent for me. If you put yourself in the lens and the shoes of a player, or as a consumer, all consumers, I think today people want to know that they're seen, that you're going to help me. You're going to help me make my experience better. You're going to move me. You're going to create an experience that appeals to both my head and my heart. You're going to inspire me to spend time with the brand. You're going to create a safe environment. Safety, brand safety is something that really matters both to our partners and to the environment we create for our fans. And maybe the thing that underscores all of it is this idea of, let me in, let me be a co-creator. And so today, communities expect to, and we expect them to be a part of the co-creation of the game, the co-creation of the experience. We really think of it as a community-led, community-first environment.
You had some exciting news recently that you all have launched a new advertising initiative, which really differs from a traditional in-game advertising model. Why don't you talk to us about that, and especially what's different about it?
Yeah, I mean, the big opportunity, again, when you talk, and as I said at the outset, when you think of the level of the scale, but also the engagement that we have in our games, when you think about sports, can you imagine watching sports, or can you imagine attending a sports event and not having brands be a part of that experience? So whether that's on a jersey kit, or whether that's on the boards along the pitch, whether that's on billboards, we want to bring brands into the experience. I mentioned the Coach example. We want to create an environment where brands can connect with young audiences, super engaged audiences who are really deeply participating within that community, and we want to create opportunities for them to get in the game.
So let's look out 5 years from now. What's your vision, and what would you consider to be success in that time horizon?
Yeah, I mean, I'll go back to the beginning. We see interactivity as the foundation of all entertainment. We see it across other mediums who are bringing in more of the elements that have been kind of core to our DNA. Leaderboards, progression systems, things that make games great. So interactivity is going to be the backbone of all entertainment in the future. Community, being community-led. Being community first, really building community experiences is going to always be at the center. That's only going to accelerate. With more and more content in the world, the ability to create connection is going to be more and more important. And finally, and particularly in the world of sports, we see this blurring of the lines between the real world and the virtual world, from passive to interactive. So we really see this sweet spot of our ability to play a unique role connecting the real world of sport into a virtual world of sport, and really putting the control, putting the opportunity in the hands of the player.
Well, thank you, David. I mean, it's obvious that the scale of gaming, with more than half the world's population playing, and the way you said your players are so participatory in that experience, means the future of gaming seems really, really bright. So thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Mitch. Appreciate it.